Welcome to High Peaks Home, where it's my goal to inform you about all the inner workings of the home. In this week's episode, we're going to talk about some ceiling preparation for sheetrock and a little bit of framing around the fireplace. I had a daddy-daughter day. That was a fun little project. And brick demolition. Some of it was completely planned and ready for the master layout of the house, and some of it absolutely was not planned. But we will go through all of it. So, let's do it! So I'm standing right where the eat-in kitchen area is going to be. And above is a little ceiling space that was vaulted and not flattened. Figuring that whole thing out, it took a minute. This space here is vaulted, right? And when they framed out this little bay window, they put the rafter on top of this top plate, right? No big deal. Except that this is a single top plate where the walls are double top plated. And what that means is that this rafter ends technically 2 inches lower than the rest of the framing for the ceiling. I could put a 2x4 here and then do a flat frame out that way, but then you end up with another inside corner, outside corner, and then come in. So that we go from this edge to there and have a bit of a drop. So it kind of, slant a little bit. But 2 inches over, 18 inches isn't very big. And I don't want to dig out too much spray foam because, pretty protective of that. Yeah, especially on the edges, it's going to drop pretty sharp. Now I could fur this down and fur this down incrementally to feather out the drop a little bit more. And this rafter doesn't end right at the top of the top plate. There's about an inch right there. I might tape measure on me. So if it's a 1 inch drop from here to here, it's a little aggressive, but I think that'd be the best choice. Because the other option is to flat frame it in, have that 1 inch drop, and then do a cove finish right there. I think I'm gonna go for the slope. Now you can see what I ended up having to do. I had to notch that rafter there, and then this one I just had to expose some foam out of it. And same thing there and there. And then on this one, I had to notch that one as well. So then all it was is we're gonna be putting in straps that come in this way. So I just had to make sure this whole section here had something to nail to. And there you have it. Now, having had done all of this, I ended up having to fur out these ceiling joists here, right? And so I wanted to taper out the drop that was happening in the ceiling. And then so I had to put another one here, and then that one's back to normal. Now, that ceiling that we furred out earlier, I now had to do a similar thing here with long tapered rips. So you can see it gets really narrow down at that end. And then I dropped it incrementally all the way across the ceiling until it got flat again. Oh, good.
I'm gonna build all that house and I haven't worked this one in a while. I've been waiting for the day we could do this.
Oh, really? You can do it. Dig deeper. Dig deeper. Look at you go.
Tell me when I can stop.
Okay, I'll tell you when you can stop. You got like 3 more. You're so close. You can do it. Come on. There you go. Two. Come on, one more. There you go. Oh, you're going for 4, huh? Okay. Whose birthday's coming up?
Mom.
Mama's. And what did Mama ask for her birthday?
A bat house and a bluebird. So we'll bring the bat house there,
So we're gonna build a bat house. So this piece here, I don't know the origin of it. It was here in the tool shed that we tore down, and someone had started carving an eagle into it. So I thought, well, I don't know if that's exactly appropriate for a bat house, but someone put some effort into it, so it might as well live on something. So,
Bat house it is.
bat house it is.
Jiggle, 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 jiggle.
Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle.
Jiggle.
What's the part that you said that they needed to have in order to come out at night and enjoy the cool air?
Oh, a perch.
A perch. Can your hands operate that thing?
Heavy.
Too heavy? What about that one?
Kind of, but I think I can out.
Okay. One more. Yep.
Say, to the bat house first.
Good morning. It's Tuesday. Yesterday I spent the day with my daughter. And we went to the dump and came here, built my wife a bat house for her birthday. And, went to the playground, stopped for ice cream. We had a nice daddy-daughter day. So this week we're a day shy, and that's fine. I ended up working at a customer's house this past weekend. I didn't want to have a full-on day here. I wanted to have my version of a down day. So yeah, that was yesterday. For today, I'm debating. So we have this big fireplace behind me, and I have a gas insert for it. So we're not going to use it as a wood-burning fireplace anymore. And so that's going to go in, and then the exhaust is going to come up through here and, all that. To run the propane line to it, it's really nice to have actual access to that instead of kind of wedging it in there and then working to try to, put it all together. So what I want to do is demo out this brick and give full access to the backside of that gas insert. And that'll give us a couple of things. 1, we can run the exhaust a lot easier, and 2, we can maintain it. Actually 3, we can install the propane line. So those are all good things. But the plan was to frame this out this way, and then this way, and just have an interior corner. I don't like wasting space. So my gut is telling me the kitchen's behind me, dining room's here, a pantry, right? A pantry in this location would be awesome. A great utilization of space, and we can have a removable panel to the maintenance items for the gas insert. All these things are just all good things, all benefits, all things we could do. But that budget, man, it doesn't exist. It's gone. To have this great idea and be really energetic about it and like, sweet, I can solve a problem, we can get more storage. I don't think I can pull it off, honestly. So I think at this point, I'll demo this out, get access to that unit. We'll wall this off and just tell a future homeowner, yes, there's this giant cavity back here. You could do this in the future. It pains me to do that. It really does. Well, I could stand here and wallow about it, or I can get some work done. So, I'm gonna get some work done. Whew. Well, that was a day. To all you masons out there, my hat's off to you. That's a lot of work, and you're doing it day in and day out. Man, you are a tougher human being than I am. Anyway, in true Sean form, every brick that came out of here was evaluated for its usability. And I have a little project coming up that we may be able to use those for. Excuse me as I empty out my steel-toed slippers. It's, the only downside of not having laces is that stuff gets in there. That's okay. I still love them. Anyway, and this brick here, you see it's kind of more of a yellowy, whitish color. The density is much different. It's because these are fire brick, and fire brick are really expensive. And I have, a quasi homestead at home, and there I have a little project that could really utilize this fire brick. So I'll take that stuff home, and someday I'll get to that project. Well, do I have to say it, or can you say it for me at this point? In true Franklin form, there's something missing! Half of the brick fascia on the front of the fireplace, gone. The little wall above it, it's gone. I've got a set of rules and mottos that I go by, right? And one of them is, a problem is nothing more than a solution waiting to be found. And this, well, it was just waiting to be found. Hope you enjoy. Check this out. I was looking at the fireplace as a whole as I'm trying to, accomplish all the different aspects of this build, and looking at this fireplace face. And when I had the ceiling all suspended, I noticed that this wall was loose, and now it's super tight. So that's telling me we got a load on there. And then I'm really looking at the brickwork, and I wanted to show you that you can identify if a face of brick is structural or not structural from one very simple indicator. Now, this brick here, you see how the brick is laid as normal, right? In a brick formation, so it's offset, yada, yada, yada. You get down here and you see the butt end of the brick. Now this tells me that roughly from here down, it's actually structural. It's integral to the entire fireplace from here over. Now from here up, the face of it, I don't know if you can tell, is pitched this way. So as this little wall here is loading, it's pushing on the face of this. And I can wiggle these little bricks back to where they belong. So we need to address this, and then we have to come up with a way to anchor this brick. That'll probably be a future day, but for today, I want to get the load off of it. I want to get it set back where it belongs, and maybe even distribute that load somewhere else so it's not on just this fascia of brick. As you can see, it took nothing to get that little wooden wall out of here, right? It wasn't attached to the ceiling, it wasn't attached to the brick. I just had to wiggle it and try to, they had one nail up in that corner over there where it was there, but the wood was split, and so it was just kind of flopping around in there. Once I was able to wiggle that out, that whole wall just popped right out of there. Now let me show you the distance between the bricks. So here you can see, this is the fascia brick, and this is the structural brick that's for the fireplace. And you can see the air gap between the two. And this whole wall, let's see if I can get the wiggle for you. It's ready. This whole thing is ready just to come down. In fact, I may just pop it off and show you just how weak this is. Wait right there. I'm gonna go grab a pry bar. All right, you ready for this? I'm gonna try to give you a better angle. Are you ready? Give you the bird's eye view. Just wiggle it in. A little bit of a pull. Tell you, that took no effort at all. Now you can see the butt end of the brick. It continues into the brick stack behind it. And that's how it's structural. It ties the face to the brick behind. I'm a little bit in shock, a little bit in awe, feeling the pressure of this build. But besides all of that, now think about it from the aspect of being the person who purchases this home. And they watch all the videos, and the realtor is saying, you know, everything is done. You can't find something wrong with this house. You're gonna move in, you're gonna live in it, you're gonna love it. Then you go out and you buy one of those big televisions to set above your mantelpiece, to sit in your nice reclining couch over in the corner. And the kids come running through and the floor vibrates. And the weight of the television is bearing down on this brick that was completely loose. That's the mortar. And that wall, the brick sloughs off. Hopefully it doesn't hit anybody. Then the television and that little wall that wasn't attached to anything, not to the ceiling, not to the brick, it all comes down. Now I saw this potential problem months ago, and it was on the list of once the ceiling was finished being suspended, I was going to take a look at all this. I didn't like the way that little wall was framed, and so I was going to take a good hard look at that and then take a look at this brick. Maybe it was just laid, you know, sloppily. Is that even a word? Sloppily? But I did not expect it to be this bad. I was expecting, like I was saying, just, you know, maybe push it back, throw some big anchors in the front, suck it all together, maybe some big plates or something. I don't know, something. But now I've got to, you know, continue down to the structural line and then relay this wall. I can sit here and throw a pity party about all this extra work I have to do, or I can just do it. So we're just gonna clean this up, get it torn down as far as I want to go, get the brick out of my way, clean them up, and maybe I'll even shrink this down a little bit. I didn't really care for how tall it was. I don't know. What would you do? Would you bring it down a little bit? For reference, I'm 5'8", and I'm standing on basically 3 inches of brick. Well, to all of you out there still watching, I really appreciate it. And if you wouldn't mind taking a moment, throw a comment in down below telling me what your takeaway was from this episode. It gives me more information to know what you guys are enjoying, and if there's something you don't like, put that down there too. I don't mind criticism. Well, until next week, thank you for stopping by High Peaks Home. Bye. What do you think about the bat house that Elle and I built?
I'll jiggle your jiggle. Jiggle, jiggle. Jiggle, jiggle.